Hello. Hi. Let me know if I am audible, visible, so that we can start. I have just waiting for few people to join so that we can start. Please, yeah, someone joined. Please let me know if I am visible, audible. Just comment so that we can start. Thank you. So today we are here to discuss the most important topic, which is somehow connected with astrology by generations, but somehow I feel that it has no relevance with astrology. So this is what we are going to. I don't think marriage has anything to do with astrology. Marriage is more a social institution rather than an astrological institution. Okay. So as we go through this session, I will describe in some detail. For it, I have changed my position or vastu today. So because there is construction work going on in the other place, so that room has more voice coming in. So that's why we are here, and I find this place more peaceful. So I may continue in sitting in here. Anyways, we are here to talk about disconnection of marriage and astrology. So first thing is that we have to disconnect the relationship and marriage from each other. When we talk about marriage, it is an institution. Okay, relationship is a different thing. Relationship and astrology can be linked together. Astrology can help you in matters of relationship. Understand the difference between relationship and marriage. Relationship is one person meeting another person and they have a relationship with each other. That is perfectly within the orbit of astrology. But when they come to the decision of making it a formal one in an institution of marriage, then that institution has nothing to do with astrology. It is more a social institution. Okay, it depends upon the society you live in. Okay, so and honestly speaking, there can be and there are societies without marriage. Okay, for making two people relate with each other, you don't need a marriage name institution. So that's where I differ in my opinion, is that astrology and marriage as an institution has nothing to do with each other. Astrology can be helpful in knowing the timing of relationship you may get into, but will that relationship convert into marriage or not is anybody's guess, because there are so many factors to involve in making a relationship convert into marriage, or even an alliance converting into marriage. There are many criteria, many conditions involved, depending again on the society you live in. Okay, let's take Indian society. Okay, suppose you have a relationship or you got an alliance from a very nice person. Okay, that person may be the ideal one for you for living your life, for living your married life. but somehow that person happen to be from other caste or other religion, then how does it change? Okay, it can completely nullify any possibility of being married with that person just because he is of a different caste or she is of a different community, right? So who is taking the priority, your society or astrology? Astrologically, that person may be the perfect person for you, but socially it is not possible, right? Same thing can be there in the caste thing, caste, religion, language, reason, what not. You can have thousands of criteria in this country. Okay, that's why I feel that a marriage consultation given to a Western society person has a more possibility of coming true rather than an Indian person, because in India we have all these things impacting the marriage. The person has to be from the same community, he has to be from the same caste, he has to be from the same religion, he has to speak the same language, he has to be in the if he belongs to the same region, or if he is nearby, then it is even better. So all these conditions come into place. This is besides the normal conditions of being from a very good financially stable family, or being in a job, or being in a good of a good financial background. That is different, that is necessary, and I don't say that that is not necessary. To live a convenient life, financial stability is necessary. Okay, I'm not going into that. I'm just going into your social scenario, where people reject someone's alliance or someone's relationship just because on the basis of caste and community and society, your language and anything. And when it is happening, then you cannot say that astrology is not good, or astrology is not perfect. Astrology is perfect. Astrology sent you the right person, but you rejected that person, right? Again, there can be a society without marriage, and there are societies without marriage. Suppose there is a society which allows a live-in relationship, where marriage stands then. Suppose a society which allows single parenting, where does marriage stands then? Okay, so there can be societies without marriage, but there cannot be society without relationship. That's what I'm trying to say, that astrology has every connection with the relationship, but astrology has no connection with the institution of marriage. Maybe I am the first astrologer to say that. And somehow I feel that this is my contribution to astrology, that I am the first one to disconnect astrology from marriage. So there are lots of other factors actually. If we go one by one, then as I said, that marriage has is a social institution, depends upon the society we live in. Now, normal way of deciding about marriage is Ashtakut, the 8-point system by which they give points out of 36. Normally, this is the most common thing. Okay, if you go to any astrologer, I think 99% will do the same thing. They will just see the numbers matching from Ashtakut system. And if it is above 18, it is fine to go. If it is below 18, it is not fine to go. Some people may see the Manglik issue. Some people may see the Nadi dosh or something like that. But these 2-3 things they see. Okay. Now my question is that if everything is so simple, then why you even need an astrologer? You can do it by yourself. You can just take any astrological website of horoscope matching and all. You can put the birth details of both the people, and you can get the report that these numbers are matching. You can go ahead if it is more than 18. If it is not, then leave it. Okay, it is not that easy Now understand that the scenario which has changed after Ashtakut has been developed. Okay, if I just Ashtakut is based on 8-point criteria. Okay, that's why it is called Ashtakut. Now these 8 points have different numbers. Okay, based on these numbers, they try to find out if both the horoscopes are matching. Now, what are these 8 criteria, and how these criteria are almost obsolete now? Okay, first is Varn. The factor where, and this factor represents the spiritual development of the partner. I think only 0.5% will be interested in knowing the spiritual development of the partner at the time of marriage. So I don't buy this this criteria. First one. Okay. Second is Vash. This factor describes the degrees of influence the other partner. I think it should be the mutual influence, not the one person's influence on another. Third is Dina Tara. This factor measures the number of nakshatras between the moon positions. It is fine, we can take it. Fourth is Yoni, that is sexual compatibility. It should be taken. Grahametri, it is again the fifth point. This factor reflects the mental capability and compatibility and affection. It can be taken. It can be taken. And then Gan. This factor is about the temperament. It is advised to have the same temperament as your partner. Fine. Then Rashi, then Nadi. It is about progeny and child. Now my problem is this. This system was developed in an ancient societies where a woman was supposed to live dependent on her husband after marriage or her father or brother before marriage, right? So women was not financially dependent. They were not dependent on themselves. Okay, I don't think they ever thought about having a career. They were not even given the proper education. Okay, by the age of till 2000, I would say, not in ancient India, till 2000. I have seen such marriages after 2000 also, but we can take 2000 as the distinction mark. Till 2000, most of the girls used to get married in early 20s. Means they may not even be graduates. So they are supposed to be dependent on their husband financially. After 2-3 years of marriage, they have 2-3 kids. And now they are completely dependent on the marriage. So in that circumstances, marriages will sustain. But those circumstances is not now. Now your society is changing. Girls are equally self-dependent. They are doing job. You are earning 50,000. They are earning 60,000. What's the big deal? Now they can sustain themselves on. They can sustain themselves on their own income. Understand this. If marriages sustained till 2000, it was just because of financial reasons. Nothing else. No astrology, no horoscope matching, no Ashtakut. It was just because of financial reasons. The woman was completely dependent upon man. That's why your marriages sustain. Okay. Now the situation is completely different. Both are equals. Now it is equal, a relationship between equals. This is a welcome change. I'm not criticizing. I'm saying it is a welcome change. For the first time, the man in Indian society has to cooperate and adjust with women. Otherwise, it was completely male-dominated society. Now, somehow, in some parts of India, things have started changing, that the man has to cooperate with the woman. Okay. So in this scenario, the whole social dynamics is changing, and you cannot apply the same rule as is, which was developed somewhere in the most ancient society 5,000 years ago, Ashtakut system. It was developed in the times of rishis and sages and all, where women had no role in the social spectrum, right? Now the women are actually doing everything which a man does. They are getting proper education, which they should get. They are having their career. They are actually, I would say, the women are doing more than men. They are. I know many of my friends who are working with me. They used to work at their office, and they used to also take care of their home responsibility. So in this changed circumstances, you cannot apply Ashtakut as is. Now you have to look at the whole chart. You cannot just make a thing that okay, these number of guns are matching and now you can go ahead with the marriage. It is not the way now. Okay, it can only be the way when one person is completely silent in relationship, in marriage. That was the scene before 2000. Now it is not the scene. Okay, so Ashtakut is obsolete. I would say is completely obsolete. You cannot rely on Ashtakut for making the relationship, deciding about the relationship. It may be very relevant in the time when it was developed, but not now. And understand this. Understand it very clearly. If anyone is telling you to get married on the basis of Ashtakut point, you are gone. Okay, I am telling you are gone. Okay, so this is the important thing, that because most of the marriages are still decided on the Ashtakut points. Okay, now understand that in these 8 points there was no criteria, there was no point for a career progression, a financial dependency, and a social spectrum, social dynamics. Okay, there was no point. These 8 points don't involve and don't include any of these factors. So that's why I am saying that because your society is changing, you have to change the criteria of matching the horoscope. No horoscopes ever match. Okay, I will come to that later. Now if we see, there are more criteria. Actually 8 we consider, and there are 4-5 more which we don't consider. That is called Mahendra. It promotes the longevity and attachment. Then there is something called Stri Dirgha. It is seen for, now pay attention to the words used. Stri Dirgha is used for seeing service to husband. Now understand what is happening. That it checks the service to husband by a wife. This itself shows that it was a completely male dominated society, and this criteria was developed only to keep the woman subservient to man. Okay, now again, as your social dynamics have changed, you have to change this criteria. It should be service to spouse rather than service to husband. Okay, I have seen normally when other people match horoscopes is that they focus more on girls' chart. Okay, to tell what all faults, what all drawbacks are there in girls' chart. Okay, it is not the way. It should not be the way. You have to take both the charts. Again, this approach is developed because they want to make feel the female side of the relationship, that all faults are within you. You need to cooperate with the guy. Okay, so again, this is the wrong thing. It should be service to spouse. It should be from both the ways. Okay, then only we can expect a balanced relationship between them. Okay, so again, this is a wrong criteria to have Stri Dirgh. Then felicity and duration of married life, then Vedha, mutual repellence and anonymity, mutual friendship, and now there are some points like Vedha Varga, that is mutual repellence and enmity, and another thing is that Varga, which is mutual enmity. These 2 points are not taken. Why not taken? If you are taking those points which are indicating towards mutual compatibility, why you are not taking the points which can indicate you about mutual enmity? Both people can be compatible on some things, they can be incompatible at some things, right? You have to take both the criteria. You have to give the scenario, means you have to tell the person, okay, and on these points you can have mutual agreements, and these points you will have mutual disagreements. I think the chart matching system should be changed completely, and what an astrologer should tell is that after marriage you will have these many challenges to face in marriage, and these are the timelines of dashas when these challenges can come up. Okay, this is the way horoscopes should be matched now, because again of the social change. Okay, so that's what I wanted to tell you, that as long as it is relationship, it is fine. Two persons meeting with each other, dating each other, having a live-in relationship, it is fine. Yeah, they can go ahead. But when they come into the marriage thing, they decide about making it a formal one and making it a social institution, then it lots of other conditions get involved. Okay, that's where astrology cannot help you. Astrology can help you only till the matters of getting into relationship, not after that, or getting an alliance, not after that. After that, lots of other things get involved. As I said, in societies like India, where it is more a marriage between two families rather than two individuals. Everyone has his say, that my father wants this into the marriage, my mother wants this from the marriage, my grandfather has this desire, my brother has this desire. It is just messed up then. When both the families get involved, anyone can spoil the relationship at that time. Okay, that's why marriage and astrology has no connection. Astrology is just limited with the relationship. Okay, so if you are coming to me for marriage consultation, I can only tell you that in this time period you can have a relationship, or you can have an alliance coming to you. Okay, after that it is anybody's guess. Anything can happen. Okay, likewise, if you want to know how to prosper your relationship, what changes you need to make in yourself, then I can advise you that how you can be more flexible, how you can be more accommodative in relationship. That I can do. Okay, but I cannot give you any remedy for that. You have to change yourself, and yeah, your partner has to change herself or himself. Okay, likewise, if you want to know the timing of breakup and divorce, I can tell you even that thing will be more perfect, because astrology has no connection with marriage. That means astrology has every connection with divorce, every connection with separation. Okay, so that I can tell you. But if you are looking for a date on which I can tell you that, okay, on this date you will get married, then you are coming to the wrong person. Then if we see other things, now if you at all, means now if you at all feel that marriage and astrology has some connection, okay, there is some connection between marriage and astrology, and astrology helps people to get married, then ask yourself why there are so many divorces, why there are so many people separating from each other. They all got marriage consultation, they all got their horoscopes matched, they all got their points matched. Then why all these troubles? These troubles of what we are seeing now after 2000, the rapid increase in divorce cases and separations, breakups between people, is just indicative of the fact that astrology has nothing to do with marriage. You are trying to take help of a science which has nothing to do with it. Okay, so astrology should basically, ideally, if you are taking, if you want to take a decision of marriage, then astrology is not the way. Astrology cannot help you. Okay. Again, if astrology has anything to do with marriage and astrology helps you to get married, then ask yourself why there are so many numbers of divorces these days. Okay. Because they all got their horoscopes matched, they all got their points matched, then why all these problems coming in? These problems itself shows that you are adopting a wrong way to reach somewhere. Okay, this is a wrong path you are trying to adopt. So again, it has nothing to do with marriage. Then second point in this is that if you really think that astrology has anything to do marriage, then why not accept the advice of the astrologer? If an astrologer tells you to get married after 32, or if an astrologer tells you to get married after 35, or if an astrologer tells you to not get married at all, then why don't you take it? If you really think that astrology can help you in deciding this marriage thing, then this is also an astrological advice. Till date, I never said yes to any horoscope match. Okay, till date, I might have done 500 consultations of horoscope matching till date, but till date I haven't said yes to any horoscope matching. I have said no, it is not matching. Do you think that they would have cancelled their plans to get married? They would have gone to the next person and the next person and the next person till they get the yes from someone. Okay, so what is happening? If you really feel that astrology and marriage has any connection, then why you are not taking my advice? I am also an astrologer. I am telling you to get married after 32. You are not taking it. Why? Because your society won't allow you to wait till 32. Your society won't allow you to remain unmarried. Your society won't allow you to wait till 35. So who is taking the priority? Astrology or society? The very fact that you are following your social dictate itself shows that astrology is secondary for you. Your society is primary. Okay, and this itself shows that you are just using astrology as an excuse, or astrologer as an excuse. Now I come to the main point why I wanted to do this session, is that astrology or astrologer is just used as an excuse to get married. Okay, people will come with the horoscopes, get this matched, and astrologer will do, okay, fine, it is matching, you can go ahead. Now if anything goes wrong in the marriage, you are first to blame that astrologer, or you are first to blame the astrologer. Okay, so that astrologer or that panditji or that jyotishi matched the horoscope, so we did it, so we married this person. Okay, as if he had said no, then you would have cancelled all your plans. So now I am saying no. I am saying no to everyone. Why then why don't you cancel your plans? So astrology is just an excuse. Understand it very clearly. It is just an excuse for you to get married somehow. Somehow you want one person to take responsibility on his head of your marriage or of your divorce, so that you can simply get married and decide accordingly. Okay, so astrology is just an excuse, nothing else. Because now the main point, because if you don't have astrology, there is no other base of getting married. On what basis you will decide? Okay, suppose astrology is just taken away, there is no science like astrology in the market, and you are told to get married with a person whom you don't even know, how you will decide? Astrology it becomes an excuse. Okay, we have checked the horoscopes, we have matched the horoscope, so we are deciding to get married with this person. But if astrology is not there, now you have to decide by yourself. You have to take responsibility on yourself. You don't want to take the responsibility, so you want to shift the responsibility on astrologer, so that if something goes wrong tomorrow in my marriage, I will just blame that person, that he had matched the horoscopes, otherwise I won't have got married with this person, right? So astrology is just an excuse for you. It is not that you have very high trust or faith in astrology. It is just an excuse. Okay, so, and one more thing is that if astrology is not there, now the most important point here is that if astrology is not there, you have no other way to decide about the marriage. You have to open your society, understand it. The main problem with society is that it had to open it itself. What do I mean by that? If you have no other way to decide about marriage, like astrology or horoscope matching and all, then you have to allow your kids to have a relationship. Then you have to allow your kids to meet each other. Then you have to allow your kids to have a dating. Then you may have to allow your kids to even have a live-in relationship. So you want to avoid all these things. You want to show off your culture as the most pious culture, most pure culture, and for maintaining that, astrology has become an scapegoat. Astrologer has become an scapegoat, and I agree that most of the astrologers are ready to be that scapegoat. I am not. I don't want to take responsibility upon myself about anyone's life. Okay, I don't want to be cursed after their marriage falls. So I won't ever say yes to any horoscope matching. I've said clearly in my website, in my marriage consultation section and the horoscope matching section, that you are going to get a no before applying to the marriage. You just be sure of it. So this is the main reason why astrology was linked with marriage. The main conspiracy was that if astrology is not there, if no excuse is there, there is no reason, there is no base to decide whom to marry, right? So in that scenario, you have to open the society. You have to allow your daughter to have a relationship. You have to allow your son to have a relationship. You have to allow them dating. You have to allow them meeting at different places. You have to allow them having a live-in relationship. To get away from all this, okay, astrology is there. We will decide astrologically. We will decide through a horoscope matching. We will decide through all these things, right? So that's what I'm trying to say, that astrology has just become an scapegoat because of your society, your culture. Okay, just to safeguard itself as a pure culture, so-called pure culture. We all know what is going on behind the curtains. Okay, so just to safeguard your own culture as a pure culture, you have just utilized the astrology and as an excuse. Okay, we have got the horoscopes match, now it is perfect marriage. No marriage is perfect. Nobody knows better than me. Okay, I have around 1,500 charts in my horoscope. 90% of them have marriage issues going on. So no No horoscope is perfect for marriage. No marriage is ever perfect. No person can be perfect. No spouse is perfect. No one else can make you happy. Okay, understand it like this. So just get rid of this thought that your marriage has anything to do with astrology. It is completely a social institution. Your society has everything to do with marriage. Your societies run your marriages. In the Indian society, people drag their horrible marriages just because they don't want to be called a divorcee. Okay, so again, who is ruling over the marriage thing? Astrology or society? Astrology could have got divorced, but socially they cannot get divorced, right? So again, it should not be an issue. And the criteria you have for getting married, it's like recently I had a consultation of marriage, and I sent him the report, the person report, and I stated few points that these are the troublesome spots in your chart in matters of relationship, and they can spoil your relationship. So you need to change your nature as this. You will need to adopt to this. You will need to be more accommodative. You will need to be more flexible towards other people, and all these things. The only question the person asked after consultation is what will be the complexion of the spouse. Nothing else. No other question, just complexion of the spouse. You think that someone's complexion, someone's face will keep you in marriage for whole life. You think that someone's bank balance will keep you in relationship for whole life. I am not saying money is not necessary. Money, the biggest mistake we have done is that we have thought that money is equivalent to happiness. Money can give you conveniences. Money can make your life convenient, but it cannot make your life happy. Okay, understand like this. Convenience is not a happiness. Convenience is just it is making your life convenient, that you have a fridge at home, you have AC at home. All these are conveniences. But will it make you feel happy inside you? I doubt. Okay. I've seen even multimillionaires crying over their relationship and thinking about committing suicide. Okay. So just get rid of this thought that astrology has anything to do with marriage. It is your social institution. You have to deal with it, and it can be dealt if both the people are matured. If both the people are of a mature mindset and they are ready to be flexible. If both, I'm saying, not one person. If both the people are matured and they have mature mindset and they are ready to accommodate with each other, it can be done. Okay, but otherwise 90% of population is facing problem in marriage. Okay, it can be for different reasons, and it can be for any reason whatsoever, but most of the people are facing a hard time in marriage. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say about relationship and marriage. And it is that if you see one more thing is there, that you are marrying someone, you are getting married with someone for at least 20-25 years. That's what your plan is somehow. Okay, we don't know what is God's plan, but this is what your plan is, that to at least for 20-25 years you will have companionship. What do you think, that for 20-25 years dashas won't change, transits won't change, everything will remain as? Sixth house will not get activated, eighth house will not get activated, 12th house will not get activated. Saturn won't transit your first house, seventh house, sixth house, eighth house. You won't go through Sadesati, you won't go through Dhaiya. You will control everything for next 25-30 years. Okay, so this is what I also wanted to say, that every marriage will have its challenges, every marriage will have its problems, and those problems will come at right time. Okay, it is just impossible to think of a forever happy married life. It is not there. It is just a utopian thought which most of the people have. Okay, so again, as I said, that lots of dynamics get involved, and somehow I feel that why somehow I feel that this fact should have been caught very early. This country and all over the world, we have some great astrologers. We have had some great astrologers, and I think many of them would have realized this, that marriage is more a social institution. And I'm unable to find the reason why people never spoke about it. We have had, like I said, we have had many great astrologers in world all over. We have had some legendary astrologers, but nobody ever talked. I never saw. If anyone has any link from wherever sources in which any astrologer before me had said that marriage has no connection with astrology, then let me know. Okay, but I haven't seen any astrologer, especially in India. Maybe in Western society, people may have talked about it, but in India, at least, I haven't seen anyone talking about this, that astrology has nothing to do with marriage. And the only reason why I feel this happened is because somehow it reduces your own business. My business is reduced. I rarely get a marriage consultation or a horoscope matching consultation. If I get one or two in a month, then I will consider it as a bonus, nothing else. So the only reason why I feel that this fact was never told by any astrologer, at least in India, is that their own business would get impacted. If they say that astrology has nothing to do with marriage, then why people will come to them? Okay, so just to keep their business going, they have kept the link of marriage and astrology going. Again, I don't want to belong to that group. I don't want anyone to curse me because of their poor married life. Okay, so it is no from me. Again, I said, I repeat it, and I can repeat it 100 and 1,000 times, that astrology and marriage has no connection with each other. And if you want to get married on yourself. Means take responsibility of your decision and get married. Don't don't give responsibility to astrology or astrologer. Okay, meet the person, date person. I don't even care if you have a live-in relationship with person, but decide on your own. Okay, that is the way to go. Astrology cannot help you, and because of this approach, I have lost my business, as I said. But I will continue this way. I don't want anyone to say that because of my advice, my suggestion, his life got spoiled. Okay, so I am just out of this game. Again, if you want a marriage consultation from me, just be sure that it is not going to be a positive one. I will just give you the most ruthless consultation ever, where I will tell you all the points which are drawback in your chart for a relationship, and all the points which are drawback in other person's chart in relationship. and then I will leave the decision on you. If it is your decision, it is not my decision. It is your life, your personal life. It is the biggest decision of your personal life. It cannot be my decision. No astrologer should decide who should marry whom. Okay. So this is what I wanted to say. Let's take all the questions. Nice spectrum. Thank you. Absolutely. No questions? Such an impact? I thought there will be many questions. Or I cleared everything. I will just wait for 5 minutes or so. If you have any question, you can put it here. Till then, let me check my mobile. So I was expecting lots of questions today. What happened? Either you understood everything or you don't want to understand. This is the thing. Anyways, okay, some comments are there. So then what about the relationship which survived for over 20-25? What about them? It's because of two persons constant efforts. And what about parents' influence? Yes, it is more about the maturity of people. And again, the society plays a role. If those people belong to that society of before 2000 year, means before 2000, this 2001 2000 means 1990s and before, then the society was completely different. It is because of that kind of society, and you have to see if those people are in a relationship for 20-25 years. You have to see who is having the upper hand in the relationship, who made more compromises, who was more flexible. The relationship survived because of that person. It is just that. I am yet to see a balanced relationship in which both the people have given their best to make it a good relationship. So it depends upon those things. Again, they would have had ups and downs in their life. As I said that with every year, planets will change signs. They will come in their 6th house, 8th house, 12th house. Malefics will transit through 7th house. It might have created troubles in their relationship, but because both were mutually in agreement to sustain the relationship, then it works. Okay. As I said, it all depends upon the two people involved and how they accommodate with each other. Okay. It only requires a matured mindset from both the sides. How and when did you come to this conclusion that marriage and astrology have no connection? It is when I started getting consultations from the people who were going through a troublesome married life. Okay, and they said that they got their horoscopes matched, and they said that their astrologer told them to get married and they will have a very good married life. At that time, I started reflecting that what is going on. If the horoscopes got matched, then why they are having problems? If an astrologer is telling them that they will have a good married life, then why they are having problems? Then my own consultation, whenever I gave marriage consultation to someone, uh, and I said that okay, within this time you can get married, and that marriage didn't happen. Only thing is that either they had a relationship and or they had an alliance coming to them, but those things never got converted into marriage. Then I reflected why it didn't convert it into marriage. Then some social reasons came. Okay, this person was from a different community, different caste, different religion. That's why they didn't agree for this alliance or this relationship. These two people were in a relationship for 2 years, but when their parents came to know that they are from different communities, they refused. So that made me think or reflect that it is more a social institution, that your society wants it to prosper. Okay, your society wanted this marriage institution to prosper rather than anything else. Okay, so if society is ruling this institution, you cannot blame an astrologer. Okay, you cannot blame astrology for wrong predictions. Okay, so this is the way. So I realized the first time I wrote this article is that relevancy of astrology in marriage matters. It was around 2 years back, I guess, somewhere in 2016 I wrote it, and I thought about it for 6 months. About 6 months, I thought a lot about it, whether to write it or not, because I was taking a step which was completely against the tradition. So, but I had many reasons. I had many cases of people getting their horoscopes matched, and they are ending up into the a difficult relationship. And when it is happening time and again with almost everyone, then it is the time when we should look at it seriously, that why it is happening. If astrologer has matched the horoscope, why they are having conflicts, why they are having disputes. Okay, so this is the thing I thought that it should be spoken about. People should not remain in any confusion or illusion that astrology can help them in their married life. It cannot. It can only say that okay, this time can be troublesome for a relationship. You need to be more accommodative. You need to be more flexible. You need to be more adjusting. Good and bad time will come. Then it cannot happen in matter of career. People might not follow the advice of astrologer, or they may find it wrong choice for them. Yes, it can happen in matters of career also. But one thing is that the difference between career and marriage is that in marriage, other person gets involved. The duality comes into the focus. Okay. I give a career consultation for someone that within this time you have an opportunity of getting a job. Okay, now you have to apply rigorously during this time, and you can get some interviews happening during this time. Or now it is time for your job to job setup time is over. Now you should plan for your own business. In both the scenarios, the responsibility is upon the person himself. There is no other factor. He has to apply for the job. He has to look for the business opportunity. Right? All efforts are upon himself. If he doesn't do, he has himself to blame. Okay. But in marriage, the duality involves. The other person involves. One person can be very accommodative. Okay. Understand that in marriage, you can find one person very accommodative in relationship, but other person may not be ready to accommodate, right? In that scenario, that's why marriage has nothing to do with the astrology, because it involves both the people. Wherever duality is involved, there is a conflict. Just I give you a simple example is that right now I am sitting alone in this room. Okay, there is no one involved. There is no other person in this room right now. The moment a person enters, X, Y, Z, whomsoever he may be, I may be knowing, I may not be knowing. The moment another person enters in the room, my whole approach of sitting here talking with you people will change. Right now, I am just a free individual. I am not concerned about anyone else because no one is here, right? The moment a person enters, my whole approach will change. I will just be more concerned what I am speaking, right? Because someone is watching at me, right? Someone is here. The duality gets involved. Whenever and wherever duality gets involved, the conflict gets involved. It is nature. It is by nature. You cannot just try it. Just observe that whenever you are sitting alone in at one place, you will be very natural. You will be very free. Okay, you won't be concerned about anything. But the moment another person gets entered there, your whole approach will change. You may change your position of sitting. You may change your position of looking at other person. You may change. So everything gets changed the moment a duality gets involved, the moment another person gets involved. And here we are talking about marriage, an institution where two people get involved for at least 20-25 years of their life. So duality will be there, the friction will be there, the conflict will be there. No ways. Okay. The career matters are different because the only one person is involved. He may apply to 10 jobs. He may get an interview call from 2 jobs, and at the end of the day, he has to perform into that interview. If he performs, he will get the job. If he doesn't perform, then fine. He will try somewhere else, right? So there is no duality is there. Okay, he himself is responsible for whatever he is doing. In marriage, one person can be very accommodative, one person can be very flexible, and he may try very hard to be in a good relationship. But what if other person is not interested? Other person is not interested to carry on the relationship. What if the other person wants a divorce? Then how long you can continue that relationship of friction? Okay, so this is why as two people get involved, the two horoscopes get involved, and when it is a joint family scenario, two families get involved, everyone has his say, then why to blame astrology? Astrologer didn't see everyone's chart, right? Astrologer, whenever you went to an astrologer for horoscope matching, at most you have only 2 charts, the guy's chart, the girl's chart. But in the end, guy's family is also guy's family is also what I'm saying. Guy's family is also impacting the marriage, and girl's family is also impacting the marriage, right? So, but the astrologer didn't see their chart. Okay, so it is like that. Now anyone who has a higher say in the family, suppose guy's father is head of family and he says something, now everyone has to follow that advice. And if he says something against the relationship or marriage, then everyone will follow that advice. That's where the things get messy in relationship astrology, that everyone has his say. They don't leave the guy and girl to decide on themselves. Then it cannot happen. The people might not follow. they don't follow, it's their wish, right? I cannot do anything. Okay. Hello. You are right. Thank you. Up to us that if we want to get into a relationship, be in a live-in or never get married with him or her, but we should not necessarily name it as a marriage, but as a relationship, and we should do efforts to sustain it on our own right. Right. That is what marriage. Astrology can help in you into decoding your relationship, not marriage. Okay. When it comes to marriage, it is your social scenario. So I guess this is the thing I wanted to talk. I don't think anyone interested uh, in any question and concerns and doubts today. So the bottom line remains the same from my side, is that marriage and astrology has no connection with each other. If you have any further question, concerns, doubts, you can feel to post your comments. I will be more than happy to respond. Okay. Bye. Take care. Have a nice Sunday.